The Springfield Armory Saint. Let's check it out. Springfield Armory is known for its M1As, for its 1911s, and for its XD series pistols. One thing that they've had missing from their line is the AR-15. Springfield Armory just introduced the Saint. They have gotten a lot of criticism for introducing a new AR-15 in a market that is pretty flooded with ARs. One of the things I want to really point out is that Springfield Armory, when they introduced this as the Saint, is defending your legacy. And this is a company that is saying, we support you guys defending your legacy, defending the Second Amendment, defending freedom, defending your family. And a lot of companies kind of ride on that political correctness fence of saying, well, it's a good sporting rifle and we're building these ARs, and they don't really want to touch on the defense side of the AR-15 and what it stands for to Americans. One of the things too that really sets this rifle apart is there's a lot of collaboration between Springfield Armory and BCM, or Bravo Company Manufacturing, which is a really high quality AR-15 manufacturer. We're going to look at some of the different features that BCM has incorporated in here, but also a lot of the great things that the Saint has on its own. Springfield Armory did an excellent job marketing this. In fact, a lot of people have complained because there was a lot of hype and build up around the Saint, and yet when it was introduced, a lot of guys said, oh, another AR-15, big whoop. Listen guys, I mean, do we want for companies to quit making ARs and quit upgrading and quit designing? No, I think it's great. The AR-15 market, especially during, like right after Sandy Hook and some of the other scares that we've had, definitely have gone through the roof. But there's still plenty of people out there looking for good solid AR-15s. And guys, to be honest with you, a lot of guys that already have 1 or 2 or 3 rifles and they want to add something really nice to their collection, and so the Springfield Armory, of course, with the name, and the quality control is going to be there and they're going to stand behind their rifles. While yes, there was a lot of hype, I think the hype itself, if you really look into what they're saying, was excellent. But the big thing is we're going to take a look at all the features that this rifle has. Now, first thing is, this is on a stand. I've already safety checked it and it's good. The barrel has an anodized finish, but it's also coated in melanite inside the bore. And melanite has proven to be an exceptional finish to reduce wear and corrosion. Right here on the barrel, 5.56 NATO, 1 1/8 twist. So you've got a 1 1/8 twist which will handle all the way from 55 grain up to 80 grain. One of the things that Springfield Armory has done, which, I did some research on it, they have tested all the different loads for accuracy and what the barrel can handle. And it does exceptionally well with each of the different loads. And of course, 1 1/8 twist is really the optimum. Now you have your standard A2 birdcage, which is a great flash hider, and it's a 16-inch chrome moly vanadium barrel. Another feature that I really like is that it is a mid-length gas system, which is a little softer shooting for recoil, and it does have one of the heavy tungsten buffers, again, which is going to keep wear and tear on your rifle down. So that really helps with shooting, and a lot of guys go with the mid-length gas system. Of course, they've retained the forward assist and the dust cover, which some companies forego, and of course with your shell deflector. Engraved into the lower receiver is Springfield Armory Saint, And then here on the other side we have the Springfield Armory logo. And it is marked multi-caliber. This is a 70-75 T6 aluminum forged lower and upper, which is up to mil spec. It has the Type 3 hard anodized finish on it. One thing they've done a little different too is on the fire control markings, we have our safe and fire, and it has the military safe and fire as well. And it's also on the other side. One thing you'll notice is the castle nut has been properly staked. One of the things you'll find a lot of times with ARs is they're not staking the castle nut. Of course, that's to take the buffer tube on and off if you want to. But you don't have to take the buffer tube off to change your stocks out. So I think that having that staked is just a great little touch. The buttstock is one of the SOPMOD BCM buttstocks. It has the big lever here, which is great for gross motor skills. Just depress, really tight fit. This is rattle free as well. It has a rubber butt pad at the back, and it has QD points on either side. And here at the top of the buttstock it says proudly American made. Every part on this rifle is US made. The Mod 3 pistol grip from BCM, and it brings it up for a high ride beaver tail. Very nice checkering, and then you have a small compartment underneath to be able to store batteries, things like that, maybe even an extra bolt. Then we have the trigger guard, which is also BCM, and you can see that it curves down instead of the straight line. Gives you a little more room, and I'll tell you guys, I have a number of rifles with the straight and then with the curved, and it really makes a lot of difference with this curve. The new BCM handguard, which has just come out, is the PKMR handguard, and it's very slim, texturing here on either side, and of course with the key mod points. One of the things I really like specifically about this handguard is up front it has a stop. So you're not going to go past that stop. You don't need anything hanging off the bottom, which it does have key mod at the bottom as well. But one of the best features of the handguard is it has a heat shield inside the handguard. A lot of the polymer handguards do not have that. With the barrel getting hot with rapid fire, that really makes a big difference when you're gripping the forearm. The mounting point for the forend though is on the A2 front sight. A lot of Magpul forearms are the same because it fits up into the circle right here where the original clamshells fit. So that makes it a little bit different. It does have a sling swivel here at the front, and it does retain its bayonet lug. Now during the evaluation we were using the Trijicon MRO, which is to me the toughest and one of the best red dot sight systems out there. Very compact, very robust. I mean, you can beat this thing, you can run over it with a tank. It's just built to last. I do have one of the American Defense mounts on here, which is a quick detach mount. But really for the evaluation, I was originally going to use the MRO with the Sidelock Kinetic Development Group mount, which I really like this mount. And one of the reasons why is because I'd ordered it from Optics Planet, and it hadn't quite gotten in. I got impatient and just had to take the rifle out. So I ended up doing the full review with the American Defense mount. But this little side mount, this little kinetic development mount is exceptional. And I just want to show you a little bit. One of the things about this mount is that it'll fit on your rifle, and then this just pops out. And that is a solid lockup. And we've done some other tests with the side lock mount with kinetic development, and it just retains zero whenever you pull it off. I mean, it is like just spot on. And you just kind of push and you can pull it right off. Just makes it really simple to be able to use. It's a 2 MOA dot, and there are 2 night vision settings and 6 daylight settings. The MROs run about $493 without the mount. That's on the Optics Planet website. If you get the side lock mount, it's $556. You get a 5% discount using Such when you check out. I'll have the links down below. But these are excellent sights. They're a little pricey, but they're definitely worth the money. But I wanted to remove the mount so I could show you the rear sight. And you get a rear adjustable sight on the back, and it pops up. It's got Springfield Armory on here. You have apertures for target, or you've got a large aperture right here for more close quarter. And there's a little lever right here, and you just press down and it closes. Press down and you lift it up. So it's not going to go down either way. But it's a nice aluminum mount and very well made, and it fits perfectly with the A2 front sight. And we are using one of the standard charging handles. And the Picatinny rail is T-marked, so you'll know where to put your sights in the right position. Now while the trigger is mil-spec, which will give you really good reliability, it is micro-polished and it has a nickel boron coating on it. Now one of the things about that, and I'm going to kind of guess here, but BCM produces a micro-polished nickel boron trigger kit. It's an advanced trigger kit. I've got a couple of them in different rifles. They are excellent. And I have a feeling that this is one of the BCM triggers. Now, don't quote me on that, but I'm about 99% sure. Now, the gun has been safety checked, and we're going to drop it off safe. Here we have just a teeny bit of take up right there, and then a nice crisp snap. Reset right there. Nice and audible. Yeah, that is a really nice trigger. I mean, you can tell that the trigger has been definitely enhanced. We're going to check the trigger pull weight. £5 15 ounces. 5 pounds 14 ounces and a half. 5 pounds 8.5 ounces. So we're looking at about 5 3/4 pounds on the trigger pull. So a really great defensive trigger. That is so nice. And I want to thank Federal Premium for supplying the ammo, 223, and this is 55 grain. And then we have some of the match. We're going to get a little bit of accuracy. And this is the 69 grain. Great stuff. Now at the range with the mid-length gas system, it was just very soft shooting. You know, 5.56 is not that harsh in the first place, but you still get some muzzle rise. With the mid-length gas system, it doesn't have as much of the blowback as you do with a carbine length. With the 1 8 twist, you know, you can go all the way from 55 grain all the way up to 80 grain, so you have a wide variety of bullet weights that will stabilize with the 1 8 twist. The BCM furniture, you know, with the SOPMOD stock, with the grip, and with this extended trigger guard, which makes it nice. It gives you a little more room for your finger. But what I really like is the new BCM handguard that's going on. You've got a heat shield in here to keep it down, keep the heat down, and yet you have your KeyMod accessories, and you still have that polymer, which keeps it really light and yet a little bit soft. One thing that, of course, is a little bit different nowadays is with the A2 front sight. But one of the things about optics is you ghost through it. You don't even see that front optic. But if you need it, you've got your 1/3 co-witness with a red dot, you can see it, or if you have magnified optic, this just completely disappears. But the gun just handled very well. It's very tight, very solid rifle. Just wanted to get it sighted in, and right here was our first group. It just trying to see where we were on paper. Then we pulled it over here to the second group and got it really good and tight, one little flyer, and then this third group was super tight. And then the last group we adjusted our sights. That first shot was here, and then we put 2 and 2. And we were using the standard Federal 223 55 grain. Moving that to 100 yards, I did 4 different groups. And as you can see, you know, right about an inch. I did have one that kind of extended out here. This was really tight. And this was with the MRO from Trijicon, so there's no magnification. I think if we got a magnified scope on there, we could really tighten up the groups. But if you can get that pinpoint dot stable, you can do super groups. Now from here we went out to 100 yards at steel, and then we went out to 200 yards with steel. Now we're going to take a peek into the receiver itself. We're going to drop the action. Now here you can see the nickel boron coated hammer, and of course the disconnect and everything. I mean, that itself is a pretty decent upgrade. Really smooth trigger. Now the nickel boron not only gives it extra lubricity, but it also is an extra layer of protection on the metal, so it's even going to last longer. Now you notice that small little green dot, that is your Accutight tensioning system, and this can be adjusted to set the tension between the upper and lower receiver, so it's screwed. Take off the pistol grip and you can screw that in to help make that a very tight fit. And we have a carbene H, which is the heavy tungsten buffer. Again, this is going to help with reliability and smoothness of the action. M16 bolt carrier with your bolt, which is a Carpenter 158 steel, again up to mil spec. It's shock peened, and it's also been magnetic particle inspected. And that just is a process where they check to see if any kind of light fractures or anything. Also, the gas key is properly staked. Then it has a Springfield Armory logo laser engraved into the bolt carrier. We have an M4 feed ramp here, and then right here into the barrel. And this is going to allow for more reliable feeding. Guys, the heart of your rifle is your bolt and your barrel. And of course the bolt carrier is up to spec, being 158 Carpenter steel, being of course MPI and shock peened, and then with the Metal-Nite finish inside the barrel, and then it being chrome molybdenadium as well, the 1-in-8 twist, and then you go with the mid-length gas system. That's going to give you extended life from the gun itself. And then with the trigger, which is going to be the human factor, being able to pull that trigger smoothly and consistently, again, is going to make this for a very good fighting machine. And guys, that's what this rifle was designed for, and that's one of the things that Springfield Armory really came out, is to say defend your legacy. And I think it's really bold for Springfield Armory to take the stand they have to introduce this rifle. It was good marketing, but it wasn't only marketing. One of the things about this rifle too, it is again Springfield Armory, but of course there's a lot of BCM parts. I'm going to tell you guys, if Paul Buffani is involved in this project, you know that it is going to be an exceptional project to be a part of. So while Springfield Armory has gotten a lot of criticism for the way they brought this in, I think that the motive behind it was excellent, and I really appreciate Springfield Armory for taking a stand for our Second Amendment rights and our right to defend ourselves, our family, and our country. One of the great things about buying a rifle like this is that you have all the upgrades you need already installed. There is nothing you really need to do to this rifle to upgrade it. And with an MSRP of $899, I mean, that's a great price. I just really feel like this is a great way to go if you're looking for a rifle you can pull out of the box and you don't have to just search around for all the different accessories and things you want to upgrade. Now, pros and cons of the rifle. I think with pros first, the mid-length gas system is excellent. The Metal-Nite finish on the barrel is going to give you really long extended life, much better than a chrome line barrel, which can over time start to flake a little bit and start to wear, which will give you less accuracy. With the Accutight, it tightens these receivers down, makes it really nice. The finish, the fit, it is Springfield Armory, which already has a huge following and a legacy for good quality. One of the other things with the BCM furniture, I mean, you've got excellent furniture and BCM quality is well known. So I think there's a lot of great features already incorporated into the rifle. As far as cons, I would say that, you know, the front sight post is a little different. I'd really probably like to see maybe a low pro gas block, but the problem is a lot of times is fitting hand guards. I know a lot of times with the Magpul hand guards, you need to have some kind of front post, and that may have been the reason why they went with this, to be able to attach the way it does with that front bracket. It's another AR-15, but one of the things about AR-15s in general, there's a lot of companies that have popped up, and many of those companies are building ARs in just warehouses or pretty much garages. I mean, they order all the parts and they just assemble a rifle. Here with the Springfield Armory, you're getting really good quality control. I mean, the guys that are putting these together know what they're doing. It stands behind the Springfield Armory line and the name, and so that to me is a lot of peace of mind. knowing that this rifle is put together correctly. And then too, the MSRP at $899, and of course street price is going to be less. I think I've seen it in a couple of places for around the $750 mark or a little less. So for all the features you're getting with this rifle, you know, I think that's going to be very hard to beat. I want to thank Springfield Armory for sending the gun as a T&E to do the test and evaluation on the gun and to bring it to you and let you guys see what's out there. Also want to thank Optics Planet for sending the MRO with the side lock. And I'll have all the links down below in the description, but it's great when these companies support the YouTube gun community. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. With sights, you ghost those anyway. That it originated from the original Springfield, which was original, and I keep saying original. You're not seeing with standard AR-15. And then, of course, others have followed. And one of the things about this mount is that it, shock peened and magnetically parted. And right here we have the M4 feed ramps, and then of course,